Hello, guys. Welcome to another session of Mathematics Lesson 4, Form 1 Mathematics Lesson 4. And we're looking at the DOKs, the depth of knowledge of Form 1 Mathematics Lesson 4. So we're going to start from the simple, which is level 1, and increase all the way to level 4. So, as you already know, the strand is numbers for everyday life, and substrand is real number and numeration systems. Real number and numeration systems. So we start with level 1. We start with level 1. Level 1 questioning. So let's put the mathematics here at the top. At least we know what we're about. Yes, lesson 4 can register here. So the DOKs level 1. So we're on level 1. And in level 1 requires that we look at very simple concepts here. The concept of numeration and denomination. So this is a simple fraction, 3 on 5. This is a simple fraction of 3 divided by 5. Let's look at another set of a fraction. So let's have another fraction, which is 7 divided by 3. Yes. And then we can look at another set of fraction, mixed fractions. We can look at a 3-sided fraction, which is 2 whole number 1 over 4. We can also look at another version of a fraction, simply put, just 4 over 9. Yes. So obviously these two are proper fractions. Yes, here, proper fractions because the denominators are bigger. Improper fraction because the numerator is bigger, and you have the mixed fraction set. Yes. So the question was to identify the numerator and denominator in each fraction, then classify each as a proper, improper, or mixed. So as you can see, the numerator here is 4, the denominator is what? 9. The numerator here is 3, the numerator is 3, the denominator is 5. How about here? The numerator is 7, the denominator is 3. So this is an improper fraction, but these two are proper fractions like we said earlier. Yes. So now we have this case where we have a whole number part and then a fractional part. So the fractional part has a numerator for 1 and a denominator which is 4. This behavior is mixed fractions. So this is level 1. So now let's jump and look at level 2. So let's go a level up. Level 2 questions. So jumping into level 2 questions for mathematics. Now level 2 requires operations. So we're going to add a couple of fractions and show working essentially. So we're going to add a couple of fractions and show working. So let's first sample these away. Yep. So we sample this off. Yeah, they'll be here for the meantime. And then we have this. So what we look out for is 2. Let's look at the numerator being 2, the denominator 5. Yes. Want to add 2, want to add 2 onto 2 over 5 onto 1 over 5. Very simple. 1 over 5. So when the denominations are the same, it's easier to add because we consider this as similar denominators. So the representation is only 1 for both. And then we can have a sum of the numerators. And so that was going to give us what? 3. So the final answer for this should be 3 on 5. So this should be 3 on 5. Yes. So obviously, when the denominators are the same, you simply add the numerators and it gives us the answer. Now, what about if the denominators are not the same? Then that presents us with a challenge. So when the denominators are not the same, similar to a situation of 2, so let's have 1 over 2 plus 2 plus 1, 1 over 4. Now, an easy way to go about it is to find a number that multiplies the numerator and denominator. Then the numerator will also go to 2 since it was multiplying 1. So it's 2 on 4. Indeed, if you have one half, right, plus, yes, so in other words, you have yeah. So we just place this there, not routine reasoning. So we'll leave this for your consideration, but this is what it is. So a fisherman catches 24 and half, or 1/4, sorry. He gives 1/4 to his family. Yeah, so those are two different questions. How many fish does the fisherman keep? We want to know how many of the fish does he keep and what fraction does he keep? And we have to justify our answers. So as you would know, it means that this is the cut of the fisherman, or the fisherman's catch for the family. This is the cut for the family. Then we have the cut for the market. Are you with me? So now after that, we will have a remaining. So obviously, we have to sum these two fractions, right? And subtract it from 1, so to speak. Or the number of fish that we find for the family and the number of fish we find for the market. Once we found them, we'll add them up and subtract it from 24 to get the number of fish that he will keep. And obviously, that figure over 24. So how else will we get to know what fraction it is? Yes. So to know the fraction, we just have to divide that by 24, whatever the figure is, by 24. So try it and let's see how your answer. Can share it with us in the classroom. Now we have the next one, the level 4 type of question. So let's go level 4. Level 4. So now with level 4, level 4. The project that we are going to run is very simple. This is what it says. So the project is that over the next week, collect data on how fractions are used in your community. So we want to know how fractions are used in a community. Yes. So how are fractions used in a community? Now, want to look how it is used. We want to choose one of the following topics: food, sharing. That's one way we use fractions. Another way we use fractions is resource distribution, distributing resources. Like when it comes to sharing stuff, like in the school, we see that in the bookshop or in the canteen or wherever else things are shared. We can also deal with time management. Time management is a great way to also explore fractions. And also we can talk about market transactions. And talk about market transactions is another way to look at where fractions are used on a daily basis. Now, your project should include this: collect at least 5 real world examples of fractions being used, right? Now, create visual representations like diagrams or drawings or photos of each example. And you write a brief explanation, like half a page, of what fractions are used in your community, why fractions are important, how understanding fractions help in daily life. Present your findings in one of these formats: a written report with a diagram, a poster with examples and explanations, an oral presentation to the class, or a digital presentation on your phone. Yes. So these are the 4 levels of difficulty when it comes to dealing with fractions. Looking forward to seeing you on the next Depth of Knowledge in Numbers for Real Life.